Right, you're welcome to the training and talent management modules of the Smart Review software. Smart Review software is it's the human resources and administration, as well as talent capacity development software that organizations use to manage um, human resources and intellectual equity within the organization. All right, so we just want to look at how the training module and the talent development module actually can be used by an organization to um, optimize knowledge equity and organize talent management. For example, this application allows you, for example, for the human resource department to document all the list of available training proposal that comes towards them. There are times that people send you training proposals. There are times that you come across training proposal on the web. The system allows you to have all of them fully documented. For example, to enter a new training, you just click on that, then you put the training title here, and then the description of the training is actually there. And very interestingly, let's look at an existing one so that it will be easier for us to understand. For example, look at this training, creative thinking skills. The system actually comes with about 25 training preloaded, training titles preloaded, and there are real training attached to organizations which can take advantage of later on if you want to contact them. But if you look at this is a training title, creative thinking skills. This is the introduction to the training actually uploaded here, and then you can see that this is the company that actually put the training together. And then this is now one of the things that is good about this particular application is the fact that for example, once you log in all the information that has to do with training on the system, you don't need to bother about whether you can recollect what their website is. It's extremely easy for you to get across. For example, if you have the website and come back in a year's time, just come in and click on this website and it takes you straight to the website of the training organization. It's as simple as that. All right, then the system now begins to ask you some very interesting questions. For example, when you're logging in the training proposal or whatever, it will ask you, of all the competencies within your organization, which one of these do you think that this training can can improve? So you can begin to select the relevant competencies you believe this training can help you improve. Now that's quite important. Now this is attitude technical competencies. You answer the same question for attitude competencies, and then eventually you answer the same question for management level competencies. Now what that does is the fact that once you save this, then the training will be leveraged for any time there is competency deficiency. For example, under the competency training leverage here, the system organizes all the training. Let's say you have 200 different training titles and details within the system. The software organizes it in such a way that everything that you have is organized around the different competencies. For example, under initiative, which is a competency, which is a work category competency, you can see that the same says these two training will be relevant. Under integrity, you can see this training that are relevant there. Under self-management, for example, the system is saying that these three training you can consider them. So you can then click on the training and try and read the details of what the training can provide. So it makes the work of the human resource department to be extremely easy in trying to make training recommendations when people have actually been evaluated and they have competency challenges. So you will not really be doing trial and error. And for example, if you want to see how, if you leave attitude and then you just come and click, okay, I want to the same set of training, organize it for me based on, and then you see that this is financial budgeting, the relevant training will be highlighted here. And then if you have cost management, the relevant training. So the number of training in this system is quite few, so you can see some level of repetition, but the more the training, the more you have in terms of database, the easier and better the system actually organizes it. So that makes it's easy for you to manage competency deficiency within the organization. Now if you look at the next component here, We call it talent management and succession planning. Now, one of the things that you need to realize that there is what we call knowledge equity within the organization. And knowledge equity talks about the fact that there is an invisible asset which resides in the human beings, the managers, the officers, the directors within the company. Is called knowledge equity. You know, their experience to a large extent is defined by the amount of training that they have invested in themselves or that the management have invested in them. Now, one of the things that this software helps us to do is to manage knowledge equity and to ensure that knowledge replication and competency is extremely easy. You know, for example, if you look at the system allows us to organize all the resources within the organization in such a way that you can attach it to the relevant, job titles and technical. For example, if you look at this lady, uh, she's an officer in this organization, and by virtue of being an officer, this system is saying that this person within that period that she's an officer will need to consume the following resources in form of training or books or whatever. The HR can manage that process. They can know when it starts and when it's completed. And also, one of the things that the system allows us to do is to allow these people to print their profile, which we call, management development, profile. Now, because she's also belonging to another department, the system also attaches specific technical training to that particular job title. So everybody within the organization, as long as you have this job title, the system will automatically attach this set of resources to your name, and the HR can then monitor over the period of years how you are able to consume this. That means the knowledge equity within the system is in a way being organized and easily transferred, and it's not going to be something that is difficult to monitor. For example, let's look at another job position. This guy is a manager, so you can see that the training profile for this guy is completely different. You can see the number of resources there, and the titles are different. And then you can see that this guy is also an accountant, so you can see the kind of the technical training that the person has to take before they can leave those positions. And so you find it very easy for the staff in themselves to go and print their profile, this particular profile, and then they can begin to consume materials on their own, which can help them to be able to, be better on their jobs. And then for the HR department, you'll find out that they have the capacity. So I'm trying to see this is what happens when somebody tries to print his profile. So you can see it has been converted to PDF, and the person can just print it and then be able to say, okay, I want to make sure that in the next 2 months I'm able to do XYZ, and then you it makes so that when people begin to come into the meetings, they are able to contribute because their knowledge equity is gradually increasing. And when you employ somebody else with a different brand new job title, the system automatically attaches all the relevant training that makes somebody else perform well in the organization, on that job, attaches it to that person, and the person gradually begins to consume it. That way, there is an organized method of knowledge equity and succession management and the management of competency and capacity building. So this is the thing that this system allows you to do, so that by the time you are the HR, it allows the HR to be able to attach specifically different resources, whether they're to specific positions. If for example, management decides that anybody in the particular position now needs to have this information, the HR just goes there, attach that into that job position, and that's all. Anytime, any day, anybody in that position will have this thing attached to their profile. And so if, for example, our managers go to LBS at a point in time to study a particular, anybody that gets that, once it's in that job position, the system automatically manages that and makes that available. And it's been extremely valuable, because it actually ensures that our investment in knowledge is optimized, and it is also equitable, such that some people do not have demands on them which is not supported by the competency that is able to carry it. So that's exactly how the training and talent management modules of the Smart Review works. Thank you very much.